and welcome to ADHD-Friendly. I'm Patty. I am the host of this podcast, but I'm also the creator of the ADHD-Friendly community. It's a membership platform available at ADHD-Friendly.com if you want to check it out. There's also lots of free resources. So if you're like, you know what, Patty, I'm not like ready to like commit money to join a membership, I get it. I totally understand. Find what works for you and leave the rest behind. I feel like my bangs are hanging right in my face. Why do I have to have a full picture of myself when I'm recording this? It's so distracting. All right. All right. Today we're talking about calming rituals.
Woohoo! All right.
This is one of mine. I do the Rafiki from The Lion King.
Yes. I love it.
All right, so this is episode 157. We're going to kick it off with a celebration. I have a celebration related to the mail.
Ooh.
I know, ironically. Inside joke. And then I'm going to update what I purchased this week. Buckle up, man. I'm going to have to put some structure back in place because clearly what I'm doing isn't working anymore. And then I'm going to share a tip on some stress busters, which feeds nicely into our overall topic, which is some ADHD-friendly calming rituals. And then, as always, I will end with the book for the week and a quote. We're going back to Kevin Kelly for our quote this week.
Kevin
I know,
Kelly.
so we got to tap back into that rich. What is my word? I can't think of the word. Guys, I'm sorry. My brain not. And sometimes like you ever have that where you can't think of a word. And then if you just allow yourself to keep thinking, you're like, oh, I'll get it. I'm trusting. I did that there. Didn't happen. Still don't know what the word is. Rich cachet or I don't know. It's a rich something. Wealth of wisdom. I don't know. I can't. No, that's not it. It's not the word I'm looking for. I could pretend it is and play it off, but it's not. My brain knows it's not. Okay. So here's my celebration. It's a biggie.
Okay. Let's go.
I mailed 2 cards for people's birthdays for October.
Okay.
In time for them to arrive either before or on their birthday.
That's impressive.
Guys, you know I don't mail things. I do mail things that I can mail with a stamp.
Yes.
So that is something I lean into strengthening because packages, no, unless I can mail them. So that's like one of my things I purchased. I'm going to transition here. That got the things out with a stamp.
Nice.
Got it done. Have stamps on hand. I have birthday cards on hand. I did everything I needed to have everything I needed. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, let me grab my card. Oh, let me grab my stamp.
I got this.
Go.
Love it.
Perfect. But that transitions into what I purchased this week. Then I ordered some clothes from Costco that started with a cardigan, not this cardigan. If you are listening to this podcast, everything I'm going to share visually, I invite you to check out my YouTube channel, ADHD-Friendly. But they had the cutest cardigan. It was cream with just a little bit of a design. I had it in my cart. And because I've been doing the pause, don't order right away, I went back and I was like, I'm just going to get it. I do need a cream cardigan, just like neutral. Because my other one got stuck on the door, like the end of last season. And so it's all frayed at the end and you can't see it when I'm recording, but I can't wear it out. It just looks like it's falling apart.
Right. It's definitely one to wear around the house.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I do need to replace it. It is a need. Well, of course it's sold out because it's Costco. So I got the remaining, I got a couple of pairs of pants and a skirt that looked super cute. So so this is just starting the ball rolling. I'm not even done yet, Becca.
I know. What else did you buy?
Those were kind of like things I don't really feel badly about buying.
Okay.
It was exactly. It was a birthday gift and clothes that I do need.
Yes.
Okay. That led me to my wants.
Okay.
So then I went to Sam's Club. The first one borders on a want. Technically, it's a want. But I can almost justify it as a need. And this is what my brain does. I've been sitting on the patio, the porch a lot because it's so lovely in the mornings. Because guys, I'm wearing a sweater. This tells you it's really lovely in the mornings.
Cozy out there.
It's a little chilly.
Yeah.
So I have to bring out one of my blankets from my family room. All of my blankets are blue. My patio furniture is like red and browns and oranges. It totally clashes. It's a visual sensitivity thing. I know in my brain it's ridiculous, but it drives me crazy. So I had in my cart
A new.
a new little throw blanket. It was only $12 and it was, I rounded it up to 13. It was $12.98.
That's a good deal for a throw
Oh yeah,
blanket.
it looks lovely. And it's just like tan,
Yeah,
kind
to
of
go
like
with
variation.
orange or
Yeah,
red
it'll
or
match.
brown.
It's neutral completely,
Yeah.
but totally a want. I have plenty of throw blankets, but I want it to stay out on the patio. So I'm not having to drag it
Bring
back
it
in
back
because I'm feeling resistance to going out there if I have to go remember to go back and grab the blanket. So I'm just going to leave it out there for the next few weeks while it's still the right weather.
Yeah.
And then I'll bring it in and close down the.
You know.
Yeah, but it was a want. Then I also got flameless candles. I know.
Where? From
Sam's Club.
Ooh.
They had crazy good reviews. They were $20, like 19 something. I'm rounding it up. Instead of, I think 5, there's at least 5, maybe 6.
Ooh.
Varying heights. And I thought, okay, they're cute for Halloween.
Totally.
But they had pictures of people that purchased them that like wrapped like little twinkle lights and like little like silver, like wire, you know, kind of decor with gems on it around it. And they were super cute. And I love the idea of just turning on candles to see. And I've always thought they probably look cheesy. I've just never had them.
Yeah.
But for $20, I was like, okay,
Why
I'm going to
not?
try them. So totally a want. I do not need these at all. It's a complete want. And here's my want one. And I'm leaving this on my daughter. The reason I bought these things is number one, you have to spend $50 to get free shipping at Sam's.
Right.
So that was how I got the throw blanket because it's $8 shipping if I don't.
Oh, yes.
And so it was literally $3 for the blanket because I was either going to pay $8 for shipping or buy the blanket and spend $3 more with the free shipping equivalent. Right. This is all my brain is doing is trying to, you know, work all this out. A lot of fatigue going on in my head. So the last thing I got, and they just added these, and because of my experience with the sweater selling out, because these warehouse clubs, when they sell seasonal things, when they're gone, they're gone. They had Snoopy blown glass ornaments, a set of 4. They are precious. They have not arrived yet. They were $27.
Oh,
but I showed them to my daughter and she was like, Mom, you have to have those. And I was like, no, I don't. I want them. I don't have to have them. They're super cute. And because they weren't plastic like that, I've been collecting blown glass ornaments. They're so sweet that I'm going to figure out a way to make them a reward. Like I'm not going to open them. I'm just thinking of this now as I'm talking it through. I'm like, I think I need to make them a reward. So clearly I do need to put a little bit more structure because when I added it all up, which is what my brain also doesn't do.
Right.
Just for this podcast, that was $163.
Oh, okay. Things add up, huh?
For the week.
Right.
When I multiply that out, I'm like, we're at like more than $600 for the month if I kept that going, which is kind of where I was before I started tracking all of this. So I'm upping my accountability to you guys. I'm going to double down because today's my restart day when we record.
Yes.
And really, especially going into the holidays, I need to mind my budget because I have to shop for others. I don't usually buy a lot of stuff for myself. This is a very self-indulgent week. All right. Apparently I'm making up for lost time. I don't know, but I'm going, it was also a stressful week.
It was.
And so apparently I did a little shopping therapy,
I get it.
I know.
Okay.
Human. Thank you. Thank you, Becca. I do feel like it's not easy. Even I know you so well. You guys are my people. I share this with you. It's still uncomfortable because I'm like, oh my gosh, did I do that? Yeah. But what's really interesting is talking about how, you know, eat like a little bit here, a little bit here. My mind does not add that up efficiently at all. So if to add it up just to put this out there in my mind, looking at those, I'm like, oh, I spent around $100.
Yeah, you didn't think.
No, when I added it, I was like, what? Because my brain does not do that well. Okay. So here's a stress buster tip.
Ooh, okay.
This was ironically the topic, even like before I had a very stressful week.
Yes.
So I wasn't expecting to need these things. So it's very timely. Sometimes I move the episode order around because of what's going on. This was just very timely. So these are from a Good Housekeeping article from the current September-October issue.
Okay.
I'm calling them ADHD-friendly stress busters. So like these are things that they work for anybody, even though this article was written for, you know, the general population. So number 1, go for a walk. Now we know this, but they said research shows that just a 10-minute brisk stroll can lower anxiety levels. I call it the get into action, like get out of our head and get into action plan. So that is something I know personally works for me, but just 10 minutes, just set a timer, walk 10 minutes, brisk, especially if it's nice and chilly outside.
It's great.
I keep doing lunch. I don't know why. All right. Sorry if that's irritating you.
I just-
I know sometimes we can be so sensitive to noises and I just keep doing it. Number 2, take it outside, kind of builds on the first one, but this is just exposing yourself to nature. So again, exposure to nature has been linked with improved attention span, lower stress levels, and a better mood. Just being outside, you don't have to do anything. So that's like taking my coffee out on the porch with my blanket. All right, number 3, be thankful. Studies have shown that practicing gratitude can help you by relieving stress and anxiety and helping to put things in perspective. This is one of my go-tos as well, because it just gets you away from focusing on what is creating the stress and focusing on what you're so thankful for.
Get rid of the negativity.
Yeah. Number 4, look for birds. A lot of these are nature tied into nature. Look for birds. So recent research indicates that hearing or seeing birds can help people feel calmer.
Oh.
I would say it depends on the kind of bird.
Right.
Because if I hear like
There's
crows,
an annoying type of bird, right?
or
Like a big.
they're the big. We have these
What are those big-
egrets.
Yeah, what are those?
The egrets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like
Or
loud.
cranes. No, they're kind of crane.
Oh,
They make extreme noise.
like a
Becca's doing
I'm doing the
the curve
this is
leg
my
thing of
wing.
the crane. Yeah. All right. Number 5, make art. So a large scale study showed that drawing, working with clay, and doing other artistic activities could significantly reduce anxiety. I would say here is the thing. You don't have to be good at it, is what it says.
Oh.
So it's just allowing yourself to create. This is where even like adult coloring books, right? So just doing something that allows you to get
paint by numbers.
Yeah. Make it simple, right? Okay, number 6, stretch your body.
Ooh.
So in one study, people who stretched for just 10 minutes a day for 3 months reported feeling less anxious and exhausted and felt more vitality.
I believe that.
Give me the vitality.
Yeah.
I love that. 10 minutes a day. Number 7, tune out with tunes. So research suggests that dance significantly decreases symptoms of depression and increases feelings of well-being. Anytime you have a dance party in the kitchen, you got evidence that that's true. So I love that. Number 8, find cold comfort. I got to just give a little disclaimer here. I'm not doing this one, but dunk your face in ice cold water for 15 to 20 seconds. Weird but true. They say some evidence shows that this engages the body's relaxation system to counteract its stress response. Now, I know some people will get like in an ice tub.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the cold
And they
plunge.
swear by it. Exactly. I have so much resistance to the idea of throwing my face,
In cold.
like forget the body, just the face into cold. I do wash my face with
cold water. Oh, okay, I do that
but
too.
that's the most. I'm not
Yeah.
shoving my face, but
Right.
I'm doing it because I'm getting my hair all wet
And
if I
it's
do that. And
slushy.
yeah, and then I'm gonna get soap. Like I'm not
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah, I know.
So, but if that resonates with you, again, I share in case it's helpful. Leave the rest behind. Number 9, cancel something, anything. So they say, look at your calendar and see what you can postpone or even just cancel altogether. Allowing yourself the time and brain space to recharge is key to your mental health. I love a calendar that's packed. I hate a calendar that's packed. I love space in my calendar.
have the most joy just from like cancel something. I'm like,
Cancel
that sounds like
anything.
so much fun.
Just cancel it. Cross it off. Number 10, pet your pets. So they said a lot of research shows that petting dogs and cats, and this is really just limited the research here. You might have a hamster or bird. This is really just talking about birds and cats, but I'm sure it would translate to others if you have a positive connection with them. But it improves mood and relieves stress. I have to say, my dogs are constantly on me. And my German Shepherd will come closer to me when she knows I'm stressed. She's very intuitive about my
Your
energy.
actions,
Mhm.
yeah.
Number 11, this is the final one. Sniff some lavender. Came close to buying a lavender candle.
I do
when
have
read
like
this.
essential oils in it. It's such a game changer.
I've heard that, like put it on your pillow and things.
And it just calms you down.
Yeah, I need to try that.
Yeah.
So studies support the calming power of lavender. They said it's effective in helping ease anxiety, in increasing relaxation, and in improving a person's ability to sustain attention. That's interesting. So that's an added, exactly. That's why I say it's an added ADHD friendly kind of benefit. Okay. Really quick little plug here for the ADHD-Friendly membership. For the month of October, I'm offering 50% off either the first month or the first year. You have the option to pay monthly or annually to ADHD-Friendly. This is at ADHD-Friendly.com. The discount is available through October 31st. So in October, I'm focusing on fall organization. Today, the day that this comes out, I am doing a session on physical pictures. So organizing your photos. On October 30th, we're doing a session on monthly planning. Ooh. And then the first Friday webinar in November is focused on self-care. We're going to be talking about how to take care of yourself, especially heading into the busy end of year time frame. So much going on with holidays and finishing up the year and trying to like get into doctor's offices and dentists and all of those things we try to like cram in before the end of the year. So 50% off through October 31st at ADHD-Friendly.com, where everything we do at ADHD-Friendly is intentionally designed to help support struggling less and thriving more. All right, so on to our topic for today. Our topic is ADHD-friendly calming rituals. So they go really hand in hand with the idea of stress busters. So have you ever been told just to calm down and stop worrying?
24/7, all the time in my life. It's just what they tell me.
So I always say, how does that work for you? Right? Like,
it doesn't do anything.
I know the intention behind it is, stop worrying about it. It's all good. Okay. That doesn't help at all. If anything, for me, it tends to kind of make me angry.
My shoulders will, or like I get more tense.
Yeah, I'm like, how is that helpful? Do you think I want to worry?
Yeah.
That's not helpful at all.
No.
So there was a study earlier this year that was published by in a WallStreetJournal.com article that highlighted how research showed that rituals, and this is a quote, measurably tamp down rising patterns of stress and arousal as people try to perform difficult tasks. So if you think about getting ready to perform like on stage and like what people do, getting ready for an exam, getting ready for like professional athletes. And I want to say those are my favorite. Are that I'm not a big sports fan. I don't love watching sports. It just doesn't interest my brain very much. But my way into watching sports has always been paying attention to the rituals that players have. So here's a few. Serena Williams apparently bounced the ball 5 times before her first serve and 2 times before her second serve, every time.
Oh, interesting.
This is my favorite person. And I wrote down, this is like early on, played for the Red Sox, Nomar Garcia Parra. Oh my gosh, my husband, like huge Red Sox fan. And I couldn't stay. Like, I remember like we went to a Red Sox game as part of our honeymoon.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
I have to watch. Like, baseball just seems like the sport where there's so many, and because they do the same things over and over. Like when they're going to bat, there's just a lot of things to watch. And so Nomar would step into the batter's box, then out, tighten his batting gloves, adjust his wristband, tighten the gloves again, touch both gloves, touch his wristband, touch his right thigh, touch his back, touch his left shoulder, touch his helmet, touch his belt, touch his helmet again, step back into the box, tap his toes against the ground, and then he would swing. He did it before every single pitch.
I remember that.
I wrote it down. It was in the article. It was in the article. I thought that was like, I mean, but I remember his was so long, it drove people crazy. I stinking loved it.
Right.
And I never figured out the exact order of what he did. I would just sit there and watch what he was doing. And I was like, this is so cool. I just love it. So, not famous, but still entertaining. My youngest played volleyball when she was in elementary school.
Yeah.
Every time she went to serve the ball, she'd make this before every serve. And I just would sit there because she wasn't like an over religious kid. But it was just every time before she'd serve, and it didn't always work, but she would do it. And I was like, okay, that's pretty hysterical.
I love
it. So I just love watching that process.
That's great.
So researchers at the University of Hawaii classified movements of their school's baseball players. They did a study of the baseball players. They said the average player on the team had 83 of these micro movements.
Wow.
83.
That's a lot.
No player on the team had less than 51, period.
Less than 51.
No, and they're really, really small. And they
Yeah.
said that even when they showed, because they didn't believe it,
Right.
and when they showed them the video of, because this is college, they're not like, being televised where they're watching themselves all the time. So they said even when they underestimated their own movements and then were shown the evidence of it, they still didn't change their routines.
Right.
So they said that that confirmed that they counted on those behaviors to help them get into the zone.
Right.
Right. So research shows that we can reach for these performance rituals to manage our anxiety and perform to our potential.
Ooh.
So instead of it undermining us and overwhelming us, we can use them to help ride that stress wave in a way that helps us. Because a little bit of stress helps us to kind of up our game.
Yeah.
If we're kind of in this, like, I don't care, like whatever happens, we're probably not performing at our peak level.
Right.
So they say that rituals don't make us into rock stars, but they can give us a way to manage our nerves.
Oh.
So what I really want you to notice here is I'm talking through this, do you already have a ritual that you're aware of that you do when you are getting ready to do something that is kind of creating some of that stress related to your performance?
Yeah.
Or maybe you don't, and you could use one. So maybe you want to have a pre-test or pre-exam ritual. I have clients that will tell me, like they've got like a whole like nighttime thing about like making sure that they're transitioning away from studying to support falling asleep so that they're getting good restorative sleep. And then they've got a morning routine where they're making sure they eat, and all of these things. Maybe it's preparing for a job interview or your first day at work, like you're doing something to help your brain kind of like be engaged and positively connecting to, you've got this, you can totally do this. Or you're going to lead a meeting or you have a presentation that you're doing. Maybe you're getting ready to go on a first date and it's, a little nerve wracking. So having a way to perform a ritual to help you get into that zone, or maybe before stepping into the spotlight in any other way that I haven't mentioned here. So my example from my own experience is I remember when I was first leading classes online, I was teaching coaches for an ADHD online academy. And it was a very new experience. I was a former teacher, but I had never taught online before. And so the idea of seeing people in boxes and squares on Zoom and all of that, kind of wasn't Zoom, but it was a platform very similar to that, was really, really uncomfortable. So I used the song For Those About to Rock by AC/DC.
Oh my God.
As my kind of like rev it up. And like, I was like, I'm about to rock and they salute me because I'm going to do this. I'm not letting my fear of the unknown and something I'm clearly not experienced in stopping me from getting the experience that I'm looking for. So that was one of my things. I've had other clients tell me they light candles, they make a cup of tea, they pace. So they kind of get into action walking around, or they have mantras like, you are not afraid, you're excited. So saying, you got this. It's not fear, it's excitement that you're feeling, so kind of like shifting the perspective of how you're looking at it. There's also, people have told me they use energizing music. They sit up tall. So like kind of like getting in alignment with their inner power instead of like, oh, I'm so afraid. It's like, no, you're excited. You've got this. Or dressing for success, using that in clothed cognition to kind of, I always talk about like wearing red kind of sets me up for something if I know it's going to be stressful. Yep. So remember, rituals can be a very ADHD friendly tool to help us manage our nerves and step into that spotlight with a little bit more ease. So we're tapping into our confidence and channeling that energy that we're striving for. So if you use a ritual to help support yourself to manage your stress, post in episode 157. I would love to hear more examples because we all learn more from each other. All right. Now for the book of the week. Ooh. The book of the week.
Oh, Snowed in
with you. This is by Heidi Stevens. The subtitle, As the Snow Melts, Will Frosty Feelings Thaw?
Ooh.
That's not a great subtitle. All right. So this is set in the Swiss Alps in the middle of winter, where Lucy goes on a work trip with other coworkers and they head up the mountain. She and another coworker named Nate don't know how to ski. Everybody else goes off skiing and they head up the mountain to grab lunch together and don't realize that there's a snowstorm coming in, but first there's a few avalanches. This is at the top of the hill, so they're not in danger, but they're not able to get back down because it blocked the one way up and down. So It's just about the time. It's like over a weekend. They're snowed in for like 2 nights and 3 days. And it's, you guys know, if you listen to this podcast, how much I love anything to like, I literally would earmark this, and I've decided I need to read more of these kind of books in the summer when I'm like so like done with the heat, because this just put me in that cozy, they're around a fire, they're snowed in, they can't even open the door. It's so much fun. They're safe.
Yes.
But snowed in.
Yeah.
So it's fun. It's about love, life, hope, and the importance of taking chances. All right. So that's the book of the week. Now for this week's quote. Again, it's from Kevin Kelly, going back to our Kevin Kelly. Woo! Excellent advice for living quotes. Kevin says, to get better at speaking, watch a recording of yourself speaking. It is shocking and painful, but an effective way to improve.
Ooh.
Have you ever done this?
No, because I don't like to watch myself.
No. And I have to say, I want to acknowledge this is really difficult. I've done this a couple of times in my life, which is why I wanted to, when I read that, I was like, okay, I have experience that this works. My first time was when I was student teaching, and I was teaching, I was a special education teacher, and I was doing my student teaching in a classroom of kindergarten, first and second graders. And this is up in New Jersey. We speak a bit faster. But I speak really fast when I get excited. And I've had to really work over the years of being mindful about that, because people can't understand me if I'm just, and these were like little kids. And my supervising professor came and observed me the first time. And she was like, all these positive things. She's like, but Patty, you are speaking way too fast and losing these kiddos because you're just
too fast.
And they're just like lost trying to keep up with you. And she's like, I want you to video yourself and play it back. And I was so uncomfortable, but I had to do it because it was my assignment, and I hated it. But I did hear what she was talking about. And I was like, I could hear my supervising teacher in the classroom talk, and then me talk. And it was such a, it was like, you accelerated the speed.
Yeah, you really fast forward.
And it really was a game changer to learn what that sounded like for myself.
Yeah.
And then the other time was when I was supervising coaches and I had to give them feedback. Often I had to listen to the recordings of them coaching and me giving them feedback to remember what I wanted to write, because I'd have to write up a summary of it. And oh my gosh, like it was just, again, recognizing what could I do to make this even better.
Yeah.
But we only get comfortable if we allow ourselves to step out of that discomfort to start. So just like with the calming rituals and the ideas for how to be comfortable and lessen our stress, maybe start with something little. If you've ever been told there's something that could be tweaked, we don't know unless we have a chance to observe. So recording yourself can really be a way to up your game. And so if there's a way in, maybe just video or just audio instead of both audio and video, if that's easier for you to tolerate, or record video and don't watch the video, just listen to the audio. If that, whatever's the easiest way to get it done, just to see what you learn from it, and then expect yourself to do nothing with it, just maybe as a learning experiment. Right. Thank you, Kevin Kelly. That was good advice. All right. That's it for this episode. As always, take what works for you, leave the rest behind, and we will see you next time. Tally ho.